Hi, Okodak radio friends. Welcome back. We are going to continue with the book Message from a Teen in the Spirit World, The Big Journey by the Spirit Neio, Lucio. The book is about, let me just explain a bit for those who haven't heard about this book yet. This is about a boy named Carlos who died at the age of 14. And he came through wanting to write a letter to his brother Lucio. So this book is the letter that he actually wrote to his brother about his experience, his illness and his death, and then where he was taken after death. But we have to wait because we are only at waking up. So let's see. Tired of repeatedly asking myself questions without getting any answers, I yielded to the care of our aunt and became completely unconscious. How long did I spend in that heavy sleep without memories? I couldn't say. I only know that I woke up alarmed and unable to grasp the situation. I was alone in a very clean room flooded with light. The loneliness suddenly filled me with sadness, but I felt a little better when I noticed the open window as it let in streams of bright light. There were joy-filled paintings on the walls, but I wondered if I hadn't been brought to some sort of hospital. Far away, through the huge window, I saw the landscape unfolding. The radiant blue sky seemed to be sending me a gentle, cool breeze. I carefully looked around and noticed the different kinds of furniture. Judging from the comfortable-looking chairs and inviting sofas, I concluded that the room was meant exclusively for rest. I was surprised as I looked myself over. Had I gotten over the depressia? Had Dr. Martino managed to heal me? My throat didn't hurt anymore. If I didn't feel so weak, I might be able to get up and take a few steps. I touched my hair and feet. What had caused such a change? Was I perchance at home? But this room was completely new to me. I recalled the last scene that had preceded my big sleep. I marveled as I remembered the smallest details. And Mum? Why wasn't she here? Why hadn't she offered me her loving embrace of happiness for my recovery? Recalling her tenderness during my body's final hours, I felt really homesick and an overwhelming desire to cry. Only then did I notice that a long time had passed and I hadn't said anything. Was my throat in any kind of shape to help me? I gave it a try and yelled, "Mom! Mom!" Right away, a mournful voice resounded within me. I realized that I hadn't heard it with my ears. It seemed to come from my own soul, tearing it apart. It was Mum's voice, all right, crying out in anguish. "Carlos, Carlos, my son, come back, come back. Don't leave me, don't leave me." Before I could think any more about my new situation, a nearby door opened and Aunt Eunice walked in. She came up to me, smiled and sat down beside me. She told me exactly what had happened. "Don't be alarmed, little Carlos. Now you are with us." This is very beautifully told and written. Let's just analyze what is Carlos' observations, and this is beautiful. If we how he describes where he's at, and the light and the comfortable chairs where he's at. It's like being taken care of. And it's exactly, there are so many books that explained the hospitals and the care places for souls. And especially I want to ask you, if you want to know more about the spiritual hospital, read Nozala. It's actually a quite amazing book. It's one of the first books that I read when we just started reading Spiritist books. So this is really recommended for us to understand things a bit better about the spiritual hospitals. And also, what Vanessa Angelini is busy with it is night in America, at 11, this book that we are busy with at the moment. It is very important for us to be educated so that we can know. We are very fortunate as spiritists to be told all these wonderful things so that we can prepare not only ourselves but also our loved ones. And if we go around it, it is all so much love. There is so much love and assistance for every soul, just like Aunt Eunice is taking care of Carlos. And this is what is beautiful. And what I wanted to say is that he recognized that he still had his body. He said he was touching his hair and he was touching his feet. And if we see, there's a lot, I had it in the Medium's book. Let's see what it says here. It says, let us first speak of the spirit in its union. And it's explaining it very beautifully. With the body, the spirit is the principal being, since it is the being that thinks and survives. The body is then only an accessory of the spirit, an envelope, a clothing, which is abandoned when worn out. Besides this material envelope, the spirit has a second semi, and this is what is the is going to tell us just now. Semi-material, which unites it with the first. At death, the spirit strips off the first, but not the second, to which we give the name perispirit. It means that the perispirit is still in the shape of the last incarnation, which is beautiful. And Carlos is acknowledging this to tell us that he is still in he can recognize himself, actually. And then the second point that I want to make is that he could hear his mother. And he says here, not with his ears. He said, I heard my mum when I called for her, and he heard her crying for him out of anguish. And the lesson here, when I read this, told me that it is very important for us to watch our emotions, especially during and after the death of a loved one. Because not only for ourselves, but when we are maybe the one that is going through that, but especially for the love of a loved one, so that we can go in a place of acceptance. I won't just say acceptance. I know sometimes it's bad, but he says here that it was very bad for him to hear his mother cry in that way, which means that they can actually hear this. So if we are conscious enough to go through death with someone that we love, and we can go through that in a way, and it is not, even if we are spirits, it's not always a good a good feeling to go through, because we are still human beings and we have a lot of things that we have to work through. But the thing is that you don't call like his mother is calling for him. And if we educate ourselves, the transformation, and not only for the soul, but also for us during this transformation of death, would be much easier. Because if you go in obsession and how we can actually be the one that holds spirits back from moving on, we can actually, but we can help them by praying. And that's the thing, prayer. Prayer is always, my granddaughter says, our handy helper. We are handy helpers of God through prayer. And that is for every soul, to be in a mind state of prayer during the discarnation of someone we love. And I think that is why it's important for us to educate ourselves in such a way so that we can be prepared not only for ourselves but also for our loved ones, because we all know that that is the way we are all heading. We're all going home back to the spirit world, and we are only here to learn and to help to evolve ourselves and to be helpers. But the thing is to educate ourselves so that we can be helped, and we can help, especially spirits as well. And it's good to do it for our children so that they would know. And it is important that we know that they can pick up on our thoughts and our anguish. But this is a wonderful book. If you want to buy this book, I know it's available on Amazon, so please feel free. And it's good to educate our children, because they too need to know about death especially. Thank you very much for everybody watching. I can't see who's watching. Sorry, I can see there's a few people on here, but I can't see any names. But may everybody have a wonderful afternoon, and it's night in South Africa. Thank you so much for all the love. Thank you. Bye-bye.